go. 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Bantamweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first the challenger on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. Entering the ring wearing white trunks with yellow trim, joining us from Bangkok, Thailand. He weighed in at the bantamweight limit of 118 pounds. His record stands at 40 wins, 5 losses, with 28 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the IBF number 4 ranked contender, introducing the challenger, Ratanachai Vorapin. And his opponent across the ring, the defending world champion on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with blue trim, fighting out of his home of Cincinnati, Ohio. He weighed in the same as his opponent, 118 pounds, undefeated in his campaign to the ring with 23 wins, no losses, 1 draw, and 21 big wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight he is making the 8th defense of his title. Please welcome the undefeated IBF Bantamweight Champion of the World, known as the Cincinnati Kid, introducing Tim Austin. Once again, Michael Ortega, our referee in charge, now to give instructions. 12 rounds of boxing schedule. Let's go, come on.
Obey my commands at all times. Touch him up and good luck. Touch him up. Touch him up.
Tim showing a little bit of disrespect. We'll take a look at the rules. It's the unified rules of boxing. 10-point must scoring system, no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. The fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round, and only the referee can stop the fight. In case of an accidental foul or any foul, they'll go to the scorecard after 4 rounds. Tim Austin stretching out his back. The book on Ratanachai is that he starts slow. We've seen that, but he comes on quick. He knows, Carl King, he must win every round in this fight. We saw him win 8 of 10 rounds, and he only did a split decision against Danny Romero. He's going to have a lot of work against Timmy Austin, because Timmy has tremendous skills.
Yes, he does. And I tell you, and this last time that Timmy's gone the limit was against Arthur Johnson last year, and they went and shut him out. So that was an indication of a lot of boxing skills that Tim Austin possesses.
This is going to be nice for Timmy and Ratanachai as well, because they're both southpaws, so you won't see that front foot getting stepped on like you do when you see the right-handed orthodox fighter and the southpaw. Timmy has considerable reach advantage, actually 7 inches of reach advantage, and he'll stay outside that kill zone we talked about in our last fight. Big looping left hand reaches the nostrils of Ratanachai Vorapin. Vorapin catching but attacking at the same time. Timmy, all business on the face, up on his toes, takes a light left underneath the right elbow of Ratanachai. Ratanachai stands right in front of him. Timmy will bounce in. He's got that wide spread legs. But look at the calves that Carl King pointed out. The size of the legs with the power comes of a puncher of Vorapin.
That's exactly right, and he's a big puncher when he can get that leverage on. Austin's job tonight is to prevent him from having that type of leverage and use his reach advantage to his advantage.
Timmy's a guy that would have liked to have fought more in his career in his 8th title defense, up in his toes, bounces left, back to the right, zips out with the right hand, which grazes the nostrils of Ratanachai. Ratanachai catches the next jab. Timmy bounces left again, back to his right, just touches him up with the right hand. As that stiff right jab in the face, but you know, Ratanachai doing a pretty good job avoiding it so far, because in most fighters, Tim would have really punished him with that right jab already. So Ratanachai staying outside the kill zone of Timmy Austin and able to parry off that punch with his elbow of the left hand of Tim. That's the power punch with the southpaw.
Exactly. It's just a feel-like process in the first round for both guys. And I think they're trying to find the range, and this side, it'll heat up rapidly here momentarily, I guarantee you that.
Well, don't forget, this guy won over 250 Muay Thai boxing fights, which are using the legs and elbows and everything else in Thailand, so he can fight, and he's tough. Tim showing his quickness on his feet, tremendously quick on his feet, is Tim Austin, with lightning speed in the hands and tremendous power with both his left and his right hand. If there's any difference in this fight, because they're both in great shape, it's going to be the power of Tim Austin.
And you know, Timmy the looks are very deceptive because he's a tall, thin, skinny kid, but he possesses a dynamite punch in both hands, and he's a tough one. He can also take it, as it was indicated in July '97 with Botilli when he won the title.
And you see Ratanachai is a worthy opponent. We've seen guys get pummeled by Tim Austin in the first round of fights before, and while Ratanachai may not be winning the first round, this is a close round one.
Right. And you know, it's a fill-out process, like I said earlier, but we're going to see some action coming up here real quick.
Him and Tim Witherspoon, who eventually went on to win the IBF championship. Here we go, round two. Bob Sheridan, Carl King. We're in the United States of America in a place called Mashantucket, Connecticut, in a 5,000-seat arena that is jammed to the hilts for the heavyweight championship. This is the IBF Bantamweight 118-pound championship of the world. The reigning champ in the blue and black trunks. To the left of your screen is Tim Austin. In the white trunks, Ratanachai Vorapin, the favorite son, along with his brother Ratanapol Vorapin of Thailand. First round, very even, Carl. Second round, nothing's really happened except posturing and positioning here.
You know, these guys, I think, I would suspect are trying to get used to fighting southpaws. I'm sure either one of them had a great amount of experience doing that, and I think that's what we're seeing right now, that this thing is really going to be a good battle.
And how difficult must it be to find a southpaw 118-pound sparring?
Yeah, that's really tough. Take it from me, I know.
Timmy landed a couple of shots in there, and Ratanachai tries to answer, but Tim, a master of positioning, just outside that kill zone we talked about. And when he closes up to 18, you see how slick he moves that head back. Almost struck Ratanachai that time. The grazing blow. Ratanachai, in all fairness, was off balance, and Timmy saw it, and his hand speed caught him. If he's gone down in spite of that, good body shot, cracking left hand, the power shot by Tim Austin doesn't quite get the right ear of Ratanachai Vorapin. This is a good round for Tim Austin now, different than the first. If it continues this way, this is a convincing round. We're past the midway point in round two. Timmy's opening up a little bit here. But make no mistake about it, Ratanachai is in for the long haul.
Oh, there's no question about that. You can take a look at his legs. He's a very difficult fighter to hurt because of the power in his legs. That's what keeps him up. And that's why, you know, this is an interesting fight. It's a fight for respect for Tim Austin tonight.
I promise you'll see the best of Tim Austin before this is over. And I can't say enough about Ratanachai Vorapin. There it goes with the big left hand. That's the power shot over the right shoulder of Ratanachai. And that's the one he wants to deal with. That's the one that could actually knock him out and knock him out.
And, you know, he's knocked Botilli out, folks, with a right hook. So he's got power in both hands. That's the world champion. I'm talking about Timmy Austin.
Austin again to the left of your screen. If you don't know these little guys, and where most of you are watching, since you're outside the United States, you know these little guys, especially in the Pacific Rim, the Philippines and Thailand and Australia and New Zealand and all across South America, the Middle East, and in Europe as well. Tim Austin working on the guy now, scoring punches with 16 seconds to go in the second round. Tim Austin scoring many, many more punches here in the second round. So the first round was a close 10-9 for Timmy. The second round is a definitive 10-9 round for Tim Austin. Neither fighter has been hurt, nobody's shaken, nobody down.
And not only that, he's a big fan of the Cincinnati Kid, Timmy Austin.
That's right, played his career for the Cincinnati Reds in the United States of America. This is round number 3. Vorapin realizes he let round 2 slide by, and he knows that he's got to win almost every round, so he's got to pick up the pace. Wild with the right hand is Vorapin, taken high in the glove by Tim Austin. This is round 3. We're at Foxwoods at the east coast of the United States of America, the northeast coast. It's cold outside, but it's warm in here in the friendly confines of a 5,000-seat arena for a heavyweight championship of the world, and this the bantamweight title.
I tell you, we got from the littlest to the biggest tonight, folks, and look how, I think you got 2 of the best.
Well, there's Ratanachai scores with the left hand, but taken on the back of the right glove by Timmy. Ratanachai digs to the body, doesn't hurt Austin at all. These guys are both in tremendous physical condition. We're in round 3. This is scheduled for the championship distance. There's a good body shot and a bit low, and referee Michael Benitez Ortega says, hey, keep it up, Ratanachai. I don't want to take any points away from you. Let's go. And he says, let's go, guys. Timmy feints and gets Ratanachai to bounce back on his heels. Goes with that light right hand that doesn't get through. Now he measures him. You'll see the left hand as he steps up into a great jab that time, Carl. There's that left hand power shot. Wild with the right hand is Vorapin. Tank, you know, he's getting dangerous. He comes in, but, you know, as he comes in, he's throwing. And that's what you got to do, and that's to the credit of Vorapin.
Exactly.
Oh, he caught Timmy. Caught him with a pretty good left hand. Then he's back on his heels, and Vorapin nails him to the body. Back upstairs, misses the big left hand, and he blinked Timmy's eyes. Timmy's legs are all right. They appear to be okay, but he certainly got his attention. Vorapin nails him again with a horrible right hook. Timmy's back on his heels, Carl.
Yes, he is, and this is what championship boxing is about. You got to be able to survive rounds like this and come back. That's what champions are made of, and we're going to see what Timmy Austin's made of right now in round 3.
Well, about a minute to go in the 3rd round. Austin back on his heels a bit more cautious right now. He wants to slide through this 3rd round without getting hurt from Vorapin and regroup in between rounds and come back.
Well, he's felt the power of Ratanachai Vorapin, so he knows what he's in with now, so he just have to make the adjustments and turn it around, and I think that it's his turn to make Vorapin feel his power.
Well, you know, Vorapin has a history of starting slow, and he gets hit, he smiles at Tim. He's a frustrated little devil to fight, you know, with Tim Austin. I say little devil, they're both hey, that's Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, they're tough little guys, both of these guys, I tell you. But you're going to see something. You're going to see a lot of action. As you remember last year, the same guy, Ratanachai Vorapin, gave fits to Mark Too Sharp Johnson.
Yes, he did. 5 seconds to go, and this is the 3rd round, and a Ratanachai Vorapin round evens things up. That's Vorapin's 3rd round. Foxwoods, Mashantucket, Connecticut, in the United States of America. World Championship boxing at its very best. The little guys this time, 118-pound champion Timmy Austin felt the power of Vorapin in the 3rd round. This is round number 4. It's scheduled at the championship distance as 12. Tim Austin now doesn't want Vorapin to steal another round because this thing could be dead even then. So he wants to turn this tide right back in his favor. Look at the power of Vorapin. This guy came to fight.
No question about that. Every fight he does.
That's a slip, and referee Michael Ortega right on top of it and calls it no knockdown. Look at the look at his face. This kid reminds me of, in one way, of Muhammad Ali, and the ring is his office. He loves it here.
Oh, there's no question about that. And he's just getting warmed up. And both these guys, I tell you, are consummate professionals. They're very well conditioned. And this is boxing at its best.
Well, in the United States, they really don't appreciate the small guys. But where you folks are watching around the world, I know you love to see really skilled fighters. And these are 2 skilled fighters.
No, there's no question about that. You got a strong kid in Ratanachai Vorapin. Look to the size of his legs. I hate to be repetitious, but that's a very key factor in this arsenal. And Tim Austin, on the other hand, he's got to be very careful not getting hit, and he's got to put his power and offense together as well.
Well, you know, Bruce McTavish, the great referee from the Philippines, was telling me he thinks that Ratanachai has the skills, and this guy's refereed, I guess, close to 100 world title fights in the Pacific Rim, and he tells me that he thinks Ratanachai might have the skills and courage to beat this guy, but he hasn't seen as much as Tim as we have. But it'll tell you how highly regarded he is by great people in boxing.
Exactly, and you know what? This is a very tough match for Tim Austin, but this is what he needs to take that step to the next level. He doesn't need the guys that the powder cake guys that you sometimes say. He needs the tough opposition to bring the best out in him.
Well, there's under a minute to go now. You got Vorapin, Vorapin, the WBC champ, and Eddie Boyer, the brilliant young Venezuelan who's only had 16 professional fights, the WBA champ. So Tim Austin is clearly the best of all the champions. And right now, Ratanachai Vorapin is in this battle. This is a very close and very difficult round to score, Carl.
Yes, it is. And that's because you see what Vorapin is doing is it takes his time and then he lunges in. And when he lunges with punches. What I mean by that, he jumps in throwing punches and he catches, and Austin backs up and he catches him with some shots.
I think Timmy may have landed more shots in this round, but maybe some of the heavier blows are landed by Ratanachai. Although Austin does a great job of parrying punches off with his hands, and if the judge see it that way, it'll be Austin's round. But if they saw the power of Vorapin, Vorapin may have got that round. That's a very close round. I'd give it to Austin on the amount of blows that he landed. Even after 4, but we had that 4th round very close. I get Tim Austin slightly out in front, but I mean, this is too close to call after 4. We've got 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Yeah.
Austin almost gets flipped. He better pay attention. He was complaining to the referee about the low blow. Remember, folks, you hear a referee say it, defend yourself at all times. Tim made a mistake there.
Yes, he
was
did.
lucky he didn't get caught.
It's very lucky, and he can't afford to make those type of mistakes. Not in a fight with a guy like this.
Pick it up. That was on his leg. Pick it up.
Vorapin clipped him with a pretty good shot upstairs again. Tim now seems to have that determination and adrenaline flow as he's up on his toes, loads up the left hand of his own. But look who's backing off. Look who's forcing the fight now.
Oh yeah, but that's Vorapin's style. There's no quit in this guy. He comes forward at all times, and he comes with a vicious force and power.
Well, I tell you, when he comes inside that danger zone, Timmy better be throwing like that. And Tim better start driving off the back foot, and Tim better land a few more left hands. I'll tell you that right now. As I say that, he cracked him with a pretty good right hand, and then the left hand on top of that high right cheek of Vorapin. But Vorapin doesn't stop throwing. He's right back on him. He caught him with a good right hand that time.
And Tim has underrated power in his right hand, too.
Tim just got clipped with a good left hook. Or in this case, it would be a left cross. The southpaw. Blood begins to trickle from the nostrils of Vorapin. And that's just a nuisance to him. He's used to being cut. He was cut in his last fight in the eye, and that didn't bother him as he went on to beat Danny Romero.
I don't think anything can bother this guy, Vorapin. He's just that tough.
And he loves to fight. But I'll tell you what can bother him, and that's a crashing left hand of Tim Austin. He was able to parry that one off with his gloves. Tim has got him in the corner, digs downstairs. Vorapin is flat-footed right now. Not a good position to be in as he cracks back with his left hand and backs Tim off again. Tim trying to catch him in a corner where he can throw a shot. See Tim catch those punches high. Wow, left hand is Vorapin. Wow, this kid no quitting him. He's all hard.
Oh, yes,
a lot
he
of
is.
ability too, by the way.
And that was the nice way Tim kind of like took his right hand and moved him out of the way very gracefully to get out of the way of that shot.
We're in the fifth round of a dandy of a 118-pound world championship fight. Tim Austin may be the more skilled, but we know he possesses heart because of the way he won the title. But this guy from Thailand will come to take this title. Tim cracked him with the right hand, and he smiled at him.
Yeah, that's got to be something special there. But you know what? It's a matter of continuance. You see how he keeps taking them and keep dishing them out.
That's another tough round to score, Carl. I think Timmy may have landed more, but you know that's almost one that's too close for me to call, and I got to leave it to the judges. How about you? All right, here we go in round number 6. From Mashantucket, Connecticut, the Foxwoods Resort and Casino in this beautiful room diminutive. But there's no shortage in the small crowd here because it's limited. They sold out in about 2 hours here. They could have sold 30 or 40,000 seats for this fight, and they'd have sold 100,000 of this had this particular fight been in Thailand.
Exactly. That's exactly right. This is a big fight in the far Pacific, you know. But here in the States, they're going to learn to appreciate fights like this and these little guys because they put together a lot of punches, and it's exciting from start to finish.
Well, Tim wants to turn up the pace just a bit because, you know, we gave Vorapin 3, we gave Austin very close before. We had 5 too close to call in the 6th round. That's a low blow. You see the referee Ortega come in and say, hey, is he going to take a point away?
1 point.
Oh, that hurts bad. That's in a close fight like this. But he lost a point in his last fight, you know. So Vorapin gets 1 point off. And you hear the crowd reaction. They don't like it. But what's happened is the crowd thinks that maybe that's the first warning, but he's talked to him in his ear on a couple of occasions about keeping the punches up. And of course, there's a difference in height. Timmy's a couple of inches taller, so look at these guys fight down.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. This is, you know, boxing at the highest level possible. And this is what the public wants to see. The best fight and the best, as you know, you're looking at some borderline shots.
See, the problem is Tim fights as a tall guy. He stands straight up. And Vorapin fights bent over. So when he throws his shots, they're going to land on the hips anyway. And if he's just a little low, but it doesn't make any difference. A low blow, whether it's unintentional or not, is illegal.
Exactly.
And that's why the referee took the point away, to try and stop it so it doesn't deteriorate. Because this fight could deteriorate into a knockdown, drag-out, real serious, piercing ball before it's over.
And I tell you, though, to Vorapin's credit, though, that none of those low blows were intentional, in my opinion.
But again, Carl, as we pointed out, intentionally enough, they were low blows, and I'm not going to take exception to the referee. Timmy staying outside the zone and really doing a nice job counter-punching this guy. Let him come forward. There's the hand speed. Wide left hand. You see him outside. Now watch him slide down the ropes. Instead, he comes off and pushes him off to let Ratanachai know he's got power. I'd hate to fight a guy that smiles at me every time.
You know, you got to make you wonder what's going on in the guy's mind when he smiles at you like that, when you're nailing him with your Sunday best.
This is his office. The microphone is mine. The ring is his.
That's right.
I'll tell you that. Wild with the right hand is Tim Austin as the whistles past the ear of Ratanachai Vorapin. Vorapin bounces back on his heels for one of the few times he backs up. Tim has got him up against the ropes. He slides right. Tim just crosses over in front of him and tries to cut the ring off. Taps him 2 times to the right. Right back with a strong left hand of Vorapin. Every time Tim looks like he's about to take command, Vorapin will throw a wild shot. He's landing something.
Yes.
Oh, how about that? And look at the smile at the end. He hurt Vorapin with a low blow. Let's see if Timmy, and by the way, if Timmy loses this run, it's tightened right back up again. So
exactly. This is the time for Tim Austin to take control. This is a crucial round for him. He wins this round and puts him a little further out front and makes it a little bit more difficult for Vorapin to play catch-up.
But Vorapin has a history of catching up. This guy started slow, as he did in this fight. I think he gave away the first 2 rounds as they filled each other out ever so closely. Look now, they could have been judges that saw it the other way. Look at him digging to the body. He fights with everything he has. He smiles back at Tim. Tim answers a smile with a light right hand on the forehead of Ratanachai Vorapin. Vorapin bounces left. Now he's off to his right, up on his toes. Timmy just stands there waiting for him to come forward. He'd like to invite him in so he can catch him with the left hand and use some of the forward momentum of Ratanachai and catch him with using his own power.
Exactly. When he comes in, if he can nail it coming in, that's be a much more effective punch, and with the power that Austin possesses, it could spell disaster for Vorapin.
Well, Tim can't get caught, but right now he's out boxing as he did in the last round, downstairs, back upstairs with that lightning right hand. He wants to use the powerful left. He cracked him with it across the nose, bridge of the nose that time. Ratanachai standing flat-footed on the ropes, but he'll come out with a wild shot. You know, he comes at you with his head, he bobs, weaves, left, right. Timmy just stands right in front of him, lets him come. He wants to catch him in time the left hand, but Vorapin doesn't let him do it because Timmy gets a little too close. Vorapin answers with 2 or 3 punches to get him off him.
Exactly, and I tell you, these guys, they could probably fight 10 times and it'll be the same way. These guys are just a classic matchup. You got a tough guy in Vorapin and a tough world champion, undefeated, refuses to lose to Tim Austin.
Tim a nice 3-punch combination. 2 of the punches landed, 1 did. Vorapin right in front of him. Timmy slick, shows a little of the streak from the Cincinnati Kid that time as he bounces off the ropes and pushes that head down. And look at Ratanachai right back at him. Now Tim doesn't want to get cut on the ropes. A bad spot for Tim to be, and he realizes it and spins out into the center of the ring. Touches him up with the right hand. Vorapin not smiling now. He's in a war of wars.
And he's trying to play catch-up. He's getting nailed with some good shots. And Tim's right jab is becoming more and more effective as the fight progresses. And that's the tool that he's going to need to keep a guy like Vorapin at bay.
The slick feed of Tim Austin got him out of trouble that time. But he's outboxing this guy. He's picking, landing pot shots, left and right hands. Right now he's working with the right hand. That's his jab. Then he goes with a powerful left hand, which is lightly taken by Vorapin. You see that shot inside? That was a shot hand, but it spun the head back. Vorapin puts his hands down and said, that's the sound that you can hit or something of that nature.
Yeah.
I don't speak Thai.
I don't either.
But I'm sure that's what he was saying.
And I'm sure he doesn't want to keep saying it.
Well, this is a definitive 10-9 round for Tim Austin. That's a good round for Timmy Austin. This is a super effort by both guys. I think Austin has clearly to me more skills, but you know, with as great a heart as Timmy has, this Ratanachai Vorapin is loaded with a killer instinct. He's a tiger hunter too, you know, in Thailand, and he's trying to hunt the tiger called the Cincinnati Kid tonight.
Yeah, and he hunts him with his bare hands too. I tell you, this guy is some kind of tough.
Round number 8 from Foxwoods. Foxwoods Casino is the biggest one in the world, believe it or not. Ratanachai Vorapin in Thailand in the white trunks with his back to you. That's Timmy Austin defending his bantamweight title for the 8th time, facing you in his black and blue trunks, which is new for him. He usually wears either red or black trunks. This is a new style for him. Ratanachai usually wears the white or the gold, and he always comes in that thing he had draped over and it looked like a cape was the flag of Thailand, the tricolors that they have.
He's a proud young man, and rightfully so, as we here in America are very proud of our country, and likewise he is of his.
Look at these guys work here in round 8. Ratanachai trying to grab this round from Timmy. Timmy does a nice job countering with the left hand. Ratanachai standing flat, but loads up that wild windmill left. Now Tim doesn't need to get in a contest with this guy showboating. It's not Tim's style. All he has to do is just fight him. Ratanachai is trying to get him off his game by taunting him, more or less, because right now Ratanachai is not having any success. Tim's positioning is perfect right now. See, even that, all taken on the gloves and on the forearms and elbows. And then Tim cracks him with a straight left. When Ratanachai hits him with his jab, Tim's head's always pulling back. Therefore, you're scoring these punches, even though Ratanachai is aggressive. It's not what they call effective aggressiveness. Nor was that. But it looks good.
And you know what? Tim Austin is not finding his zone, and I agree with you. Should be fair. This is a dangerous thing for him to do with his hands down. This guy here is nothing to play with. He's tough, and I think it's just a psyche game right now.
Well, by the way, Vorapin could steal this round with 58 seconds to go in the round if Timmy doesn't pick up the pace a little bit, throw some more left hands. That's a good one there. That half uppercut, half right hand. That's got power written all over it. Cracks him with a nice looping left hand. There's a digging body shot by Tim Austin. That one hurt. He caught him just below the elbow. And that's the career of Julio Cesar Chavez, was made that shot behind the elbows of opponents.
That's exactly right. And you know, Tim has been in camps with Chavez, learning that shot as they watched each other train early on.
He comes with that sneaky right uppercut, half hook, and then gets back. But Ratanachai, whenever he does anything, unless he hurts him, he comes right forward all the time. That's making a fight. They say styles make fights. These two guys have the exact style and making a terrific fight. Very unusual to see two southpaws fighting each other, and yet the style is terrific. I think Timmy outboxed him again, narrowly, but outboxed him again.
That's right. That was
1-7 and 8, and now Timmy, I've got a couple of 3 points out in front of Vorapin, so Vorapin needs to win the 9th round most desperately. Timmy, if he wants to close the night out, wants to win this as well, so this guy has no chance to climb back into this fight.
And that's what, and I think right now Timmy is at in this zone, is trying to put his boxing skills together to set this guy up.
You see that time he put his hand on top of his head, then he realized this guy can whack me inside, and he immediately pulled his hand back like it was on a hot iron instead of the forehead of Ratanachai. Unless the blood pressure of Ratanachai is so high, it really did scald his hand. That's the way it looked like it. See, Tim is not getting hit, though. Ratanachai is working. That time he get a light right hand up on top of his right cheekbone, a little puffiness. Neither fighter has been down. Nobody really shaken.
Right.
This little cut by the eye of Vorapin. Other than that, it's just been a real tough, hard, drooling boxing match. And a terrific pace cut.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what we talked about early on when we talked about the appreciation of the little guys. These are little giants, as a matter of fact. These guys are putting it's a tremendous pace that the bigger weights cannot afford to keep up with.
There's a shot with the left hand by Vorapin that looked better than it was. As he works downstairs again, Tim just goes up in the corner, slides down the ropes, and Vorapin's corner wants him to come on. Tim is, what he's trying to do is skip away, plant his feet and time a right-hand shot for when he comes in.
Right, and Vorapin is the kind of guy that's going to be doing this all night long. He knows no other way but come straight in at you and give it his best.
See, Tim felt the pressure there, right down the ropes, gets set up again, lands a light combination to Vorapin. Vorapin still able to bob, weave, avoid some of the punches of Tim. This is a better round than the last two for Ratanachai, so Tim needs to pick up the pace.
At least landed some combinations. See, the jab now is still at work, and that's what Timmy needs to do to keep this guy at bay. He can't afford to be getting nailed with shots like that.
Well, Ratanachai wanted to come up and take this 9th round, and he very well may do it unless Tim lands another combination like that. That could steal this round away on the scorecards of the judges if Timmy lands another combination like that. But Ratanachai is having a good round, his best round in about 3 or 4 rounds. Wow, with the left hand is Tim Austin as a whistle past the nose of Ratanachai. Timmy trying to time the powerful left hand, trying to get in position. You don't count as he goes to his right. He's actually trying to sneak off the right shoulder of Ratanachai, and if he does, that left hand, there it was.
There it was.
It was right there, but he didn't land it. But he's got the right idea.
You almost wanted me to quote James Brown right there, Colonel, the way you called that one.
Those punches are seem to be happening before they do.
I tell you, 10.
This is round 10, scheduled for 12. And look at Ratanachai on the assault. He knows if our scorecards are right, I've got it 89-83 right now. He's going to win all the last 3 rounds convincingly. Tim is going to stop this assault from coming on.
Exactly.
Because he may have won in some judges' scorecards the last round. I'm not saying he did, but he may have. Tim catches him with a body shot coming in. That's what he wants to do, by the way, folks. He's trying to lull him in. Tim is trying to sucker him in so he can counter him. That's why he's not throwing the jab. He wants him full power coming in. Watch Tim slide down. No, he spins out. There's 2 things you can do. Slide, grab the spin out, or grab him and walk him back on his heels. That way he can't hurt you.
And now he's got to get that jab going, and that'll keep this guy at bay. That's what he needs to do to set up. Everything that Tim Austin does comes off the right jab.
Well, there it is right there, and just as you said it, he led with the right hand. There's the jab 2 times, bounces off the forehead of Ratanachai. Watch Tim, see him sneaking off that shoulder again, Carl? He wants to land the big, powerful shot. But you're right, work the jab, work the jab. You hear Aaron Snowell down there. There's the right hand, right there. That one cracked him high on the right cheekbone.
That's right.
And that would have knocked down a lesser fighter than Ratanachai Vorapin.
That's right. I don't think anything can knock Ratanachai Vorapin down. But Tim Austin is really starting to put it together with his right jab. And in this particular round is a big round for both guys because it increases the need for Vorapin to knock him out to win.
If Vorapin stays with his back in the ropes like this, Tim will knock him down, and it won't take too much longer, I'll tell you that right now. Because Vorapin, the accumulation of punches and the conditioning that Tim Austin is in, not that Vorapin is in any less conditioning, but Tim is working little tiny things so well now. The jab working great for him. Just little tiny things, starting to zero in on the left-hand power shot. There it was there. The uppercut didn't quite catch him. Vorapin walks away as Tim immediately sets up again to land the power shot. I tell you, Carl, it won't be long before he catches him.
Well, he's really setting him up, and what's doing it, folks, is the right jab. Everything happens after that, and I think it's got Vorapin a bit confused right now.
He has, and the accumulation of punches he's landing, he can look at him and grin and shake his head, but look at the serious look at his face right now. Those are tough, hard punches right now. Tim had to take this round, and he's taking it convincingly now.
This is the championship rounds here. We're getting ready to enter into them anyway.
24 seconds, 23, 22, 21, 20 seconds to go in the 10th round, and Tim really crunching blows. Look at these shots. Neither one of those were heavy, but that jab, there's the heavy, powerful left hand. Tim whistles that left hand past the nose again of Ratanachai. This is a brilliant round of boxing for Tim Austin. This is vintage Tim Austin at his best. Back was his, bangs him again with a powerful left hand. That's a great round for Tim Austin. This is Tim right now is pinpoint accuracy with most of his shots, and Vorapin is missing with most of his. Occasionally he'll land a power shot, but Tim is pinpoint with the jab. See that? Between the gloves, bang with the left hand, touching him up with the right hand, the jab. Vorapin gets 1 in. So Tim lands 4 light shots. Vorapin gets a fairly hefty blow in that's parried partly by Tim. I mean, that first 10 or 12 seconds won by Tim Austin. And Tim continues as he just punishes him with a jab, touches him. Now when you see him soften up with the jab, he's looking to throw the other hand.
He's in his zone right now. This is, like you said last round, this is vintage Tim Austin. And he's using the jab. I just want to emphasize on that right jab is what's doing everything for Tim Austin right now.
He's snuck into a position, Carl, that I've talked about for 2 rounds, where he's getting off the right shoulder of Vorapin. I'm telling you, it's just a matter of time before he cracks him one final time with that left hand, and he will knock down Vorapin if he catches him. He's been setting it up for it for 2 rounds. And these are the little subtleties that most of us don't even realize with the great fighters like this guy and Ricardo Lopez and Chavez in his prime, that they do, the little guys, that most of us don't even see.
Exactly.
And Tim is doing, see right now, what he's doing right now is brilliant. Suckering him in, now he's got to get out of there because he gets caught.
He's catching those punches with his glove. He's really having a brilliant performance in the last few rounds. But Vorapin again is not hard to find, Colonel. He's right there.
Right in front of you. Nothing fancy. He doesn't come in from any angles. He's like a bull. He'll put his head down and charge in. Then he bangs the body. Still looking to land the big left hand. Ratanachai with the hands high. That right eye is beginning to swell up and starting to close. He had a slit by that right eye way back in the second round, and his opponent has done a brilliant job. Sampis Tetmunam, who is his cut man, a great job, but Tim is just outboxing him tremendously here.
He just made the move you talked about, Colonel.
Yeah, he's setting it up, and he has been, Carl, and he knows that it's there, and when he executes it, and he will, I believe, and if he doesn't, he's far enough out in front that he's going to win this fight now anyway. Providing he doesn't get caught by Vorapin, who can bang late.
That's right. You never know. You know, he's a round and 30 seconds away, but that's a long time in a championship fight.
Especially at this skill level. Right now, Tim is just outboxing him tremendously in the last couple of rounds. Every once in a while, oh, big left hand! It was there. Tim right back with a little bit of wild with that right. You know, in reality, he probably knows he should have got back and jabbed. But don't forget, this guy's going to hunt a lion. And the other guy's a lion hunter. I mean, what do you want, folks? This is brilliant championship boxing. It doesn't get any better than this. I'll tell you.
Final round.
It is the 12th and final round from Foxwoods, the IBF Bantamweight Championship of the world. And when this fight is over, neither one of these fighters is leaving anything on the table. Tim Austin goes back to work upstairs, picking his shots, trying to hold him off with a jab, looking to land the power shot. Ratanachai, exhausted though he may be, he's in tremendous physical condition. He comes forward, backing Tim off. Tim only has to be cautious and he'll outpoint this guy. He holds the hand on top of his head. He's got the reach advantage. He's got the height advantage. He has a slight skill advantage. The hearts are the same, though, as Ratanachai bangs him with a big looping left hand. Wow, with the left hand again is Ratanachai. Timmy needs to throw more left hands as Ratanachai comes after him. Tim is fighting smart now. A little cautious in the first minute here, as well he should be. But look at Ratanachai forcing this fight. He knows he's fighting like a desperate fighter, like a bull in his last breaths to try to win this fight. Tim ties him up brilliantly, and you see the referee again, he doesn't want to take another point away. And luckily for Vorapin to keep this fight a little bit closer, Ortega doesn't take the point away, and he did the right thing. Oh, both guys level up shots, and both absorb them.
And you know, it's amazing for a champion to be in front like that, to gamble like this. That shows you the kind of spirit that this young man possesses in the ring.
Well, Tim, all he has to do is hustle around and outbox him, and he's got this fight won. But he wants to knock him, at least knock him down once, to take the smile off Vorapin's face. And I'll tell you this, if you're watching in Thailand and you're listening in English, whether you're the Prime Minister, the King, or a fan of boxing in Thailand, you got nothing to be ashamed of the effort of Ratanachai Vorapin, because he made this fight what I would call, if my score going into this round is 109-102, one of the best lopsided fights I've ever seen.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And it's still, this guy's dangerous. The fight's not over.
Tim tripped that time. Is he going to call a knockdown? No, he waved it off.
No.
That's excellent refereeing. He was far enough away to see that Tim tripped over the outstretched leg, and that's excellent refereeing. Unless the referee would have called it a knockdown, and then the fight would have been very dangerous out again. Tim is going to finish strong now in the last 40 seconds. Look at this. Ratanachai still there. You know, he's like a wounded cat now.
That's right, and he's desperate, and he knows he's 30 seconds left in the fight, and he has to put it together right now, or it's all over for him.
Tim comes flying off those ropes with 23, 22, 21, 20 seconds to go in this championship fight. It doesn't appear he's going to be able to knock him down.
Down the middle. Drill it all the way through.
Here's Tim.
Drill it all the way
Light
through.
left hand.
Drill it again.
Inside of 10 seconds of being on knockout. Tim was caught again. And you know something? I'm going to give Vorapin the front round.
Well, I don't know about that. But you can roll and be my guest.
It doesn't make any difference, Charles. Austin's won this fight.
To the world champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, the judges are in agreement. We have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Glenn Feldman, scores about 115 to 112. Judge George Smith sees it 117 to 110. And Judge Robert Paolino scores about 118 to 109. All three in favor of the winner. Still undefeated and still the IBF Bantamweight Champion of the world, the Cincinnati Kid, Tim Austin.